Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Oh My Dear Lawn. So today, let's go over the plans for the 2021 lawn season. Alright guys, so before I get out there to show you and talk through all my plans for the 2021 season, my plans, my goals, everything that I'm hoping to accomplish, I just kind of wanted to show you guys. I'm coming here through the new office that I've been building all winter. Super exciting stuff. I'm really happy with how this is turning out. Just putting the finishing touches on it today. So with that, let's take a break. Let's go out into the yard and kind of discuss my plans for the year and what I'm going to do. So not a lot of work done in this video, guys, but it's going to set up the rest of the season for us. So with that, let's get out in the yard. Alright guys, so to start off the season, the biggest thing is going to be the grass this year. What am I doing? I'm going to go ahead and start the year with, of course, a soil test. I got to find out where I'm at. I think my big goals in the last soil test I did, I had a super high pH, and my goals has been to work on that. So I'm curious if the things I did last year made a difference. So I'm excited to see that soil test, and I'm also excited to see what else I can do to help the pH. So on a soil test, you want to work on one or two things at a time. My biggest thing is pH. I think my last pH was 7.8, so quite a lot. So it's going to be one of the big goals. As far as fertilizers and things go, as always, I don't have a plan. I always just I find new things that I want to try and do. I don't feel like there's anything you can really do wrong in that sense. So I've got a few that I'm going to try for the first of spring. I'm sure I'm going to find more throughout the year. I'm sure I'm going to be walking through a garden center or some other store and see something that I want to try in the yard. So I don't have a solidified plan for fertilizer yet. I'm more or less waiting for the soil test to come back. With that, the rest of the things for the yard. Got to get another top dressing. I have made so much progress with the two top dressings last year. It is so much smoother than it has ever been, and I'm really excited for that. It's really helped the real mowing, and it's going to help me really use that John Deere to its full potential. Other things for the yard, micronutrients, I really pushed those last year, and I really liked the difference they made. As far as fertilizers and stuff, though, one thing I did last year that I really want to continue this year is I started doing spoon feedings for the yard. I did a quarter pound of nitrogen weekly, and I just made a certain day of the week, and that was the night I was going to throw my quarter pound down. And the way my lawn responded to that, I was really impressed. So I'm gonna probably continue that on a larger scale this year. Now my first throwdown for spring is not going to be a spoon feeding. I will probably throw down a whole pound of nitrogen, really get this up, running, and going good for the season. And then after that, I'll switch to the spoon feedings weekly after about a month after that 1 pound of nitrogen. I just want to get it a good bump start before I start doing everything else that I'm going to do to the yard. So top dressing, I'm going to do some dethatching, aeration. Got a bunch of projects that I'm going to try. It's going to be an exciting year to see how the lawn responds and looks with the yard here. Probably going to do another overseed, so pre-emergent wise, I am going to probably be doing tenacity, because I know last year when I did the top dressing, I ended up doing an overseed right after. And I'm going to likely do that again. The results I got from that were really good, and I was really impressed with how it all worked out, so definitely going to be looking at doing that again. Other than that, that's about it for the grass. I'm sure there's going to be plenty of content mowing. Oh, and I'm going to try plant growth regulator this year. Keeping it down at this 3/4 of an inch was a little exhausting. I was literally mowing every day. Sometimes on days off I would mow twice a day. I would mow once in the morning and once at night, just because this was growing so quickly and growing so well. Even in the heat of the summer, I was still once a day on my Kentucky bluegrass back here. So I'm definitely going to be trying some plant growth regulator. One, because I think it'll help thicken this up a bit, and two, it'll cut my mowing down maybe every other day, which is going to save me a lot of time, give me more time to do more things here in the yard, so I'm really excited for that. With that, let's move on to the next item for the 2021 season. So my next big project are all my flower beds. So I kind of started this last fall with the front flower bed. My soil is terrible in these flower beds. It was basically just soil that I had left over from a project when I very first moved in. I saved it here in the backyard because I knew eventually I was going to be redoing the backyard. And when I knew I was going to do that, that's what I used to build up these raised flower beds. And it's just not a well-drained soil, it's very clayey. So I've been starting to do things to amend it, and there's going to be a lot of stuff on that, as well as this landscape fabric. I am getting rid of that. I know that sounds crazy, but it's holding in the moisture. It's killing all these plants. I spent a lot of money on plants last year, and most of them did not do well. They all suffered from chlorosis and different things that I was trying to treat all season long, and they just were not getting any better. So I did a lot of amendment stuff to the front flower bed. I plan to do it to the rest, and soil has turned out what looks a lot better. I'm hoping to maybe even soil test that as well, just to kind of get an idea of where I'm at on the front yard versus the backyard. So I'm really excited to see what that result is, and I'm excited to see the difference it makes in these plants. So with that, let's go on to the next project. So kind of a project from last year that I started was this shed. It was here when I moved in. I've kind of kept it going. It was a really funny color. I mean, it just matched the house. I wanted something different, something brighter, something more fun. So my plan was to turn this into like a barn. Well, I got it painted red, but then I ran out of time, ran out of energy, and just got focused on more of the lawn stuff last year and never finished this project. So my goal is to finish this project. So I'm going to be adding some light trim to the corners and around the door, make this look more like a barn, really just brighten up this backyard and make it look even better, add some color, some character, and I'm really excited for that. So my next big project is to update the front of my house here. So my house looks like every single house in the neighborhood. The only thing that sets it apart is the yard. So I've got a kind of plan to kind of mini renovate and just change the whole front face of my house. It's going to include changing the light fixtures, because everyone in this neighborhood has the exact same light fixtures above their garages and on their porches. As well as I'm going to change the color of the door. It's going to help brighten it up, add some color, more contrast, and just make my yard pop and stand out. It's all about adding those contrasting colors and the brightness and the fun. And it's going to set me apart from the rest of the neighborhood. So I'm really excited for that project. It's going to help add more curb appeal to the front of my house. So really excited for that one, guys. With that, let's move on to the next. So the last project I'm going to talk about is also going to be probably one of the first projects of the year. I got this mower last year. You guys know it's my dream mower. This is everything I have ever wanted. I'm really excited for it. I love how it runs, how it cuts, everything else about it. The problem is that it did come from a golf course. It's a tired engine. These things are run and probably not that well maintained by a lot of golf courses. So I have plans to actually replace this engine. I got an engine on this way. It should be here next week. So this is probably going to be my first project of the year, is to do an engine swap on this thing. Make it fresh, make it new, and then it's going to be adjusting it, and then it'll be mowing with it. I'm excited because it'll have my maintenance on it, which is probably above and beyond what most people's maintenance would even consider. So really excited for this. I'm going to make my dream mower even better. So can't wait for that one. With that, guys, let's wrap this video up. Alright guys, so that is my 2021 plans and goals for the season. I know that's not everything. I know I missed a lot, but that's going to give you a general idea of the things that I'm going to bring to you for content this year, this lawn season. So I'm really excited for it. I'm really excited for the things that I'm doing, the progress I'm making, and it's just so good. You guys, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. There's going to be so much more content coming out here in the next few weeks as we do the spring series, which is going to be the soil test, our pre-emergent, the first fertilizing, the first mow, everything. There's so much coming, so many exciting things. Also, if you're not, follow me on Facebook and Instagram. I post a lot of extra stuff over there that does not make it to the channel, including this whole office renovation. There's some really fun things on there and some really exciting things, especially with how I'm going to decorate this office. Like, just you guys wait and see. It's going to be awesome. It is going to be a true lawn care addict's office. So, really excited for it, guys. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.